Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. Oops, slipped down for me. Well, let's take a look at current blood sugar. It says 13.5, but that comes up later in the morning. I just wanted to show you earlier this morning. I started off at quite high, came down quite low, and then rebound. It's all kind of work. I have 4.925 units. Still, it's at 255 now. Still hovering around 13. Still, as the video you saw yesterday, still at 74. And we're at 25%. Above normal, 1% below. The 74 means my average sugar is sitting at 8.5. I'll just see for a second. I just want to see if that works a bit. Well, that's a little bit better. It just had some Vaseline on it. I used it for a shot I did earlier. Ooh. Today I want to talk to you about disability and T1D. Do the two really mix? Stay tuned and we'll take a look. Okay. Do you have a disability when you have T1D? I'm going to refer to the Canadian CPP disability formula. If it takes more than 14 hours for you to legitimately, and I put legitimately in quotes, for you to do your diabetes care, then yes, you're disabled. Now, people I'm disabled. I'm going to get a whole bunch of money from the government because you're disabled. And it's just wonderful. You get to lie around, you get to do whatever you want to do. No, it doesn't work that way. You may get a tax credit, but that is because you can't physically work. You can't go to school because diabetes gets in the way. I've told this story before. I did not consider myself disabled. I had gone to see my diabetic doctor, and we were talking about living, that I had to quit my job because I couldn't stand on my feet all day anymore. I was getting leg pains. Neuropathy was showing its evil little head. And I said, well, the only way I could get a little more money out of the government is if I was disabled. She kind of looked around the room and said, Mike, you are disabled. I have sort of a rule about saying people with diabetes are disabled. And that is, we've tried many different things and we have not found a program that will constantly work for you. And I had known this doctor for over 20 years. And she said, bring me the paperwork. And I did go in there and say, yes, I will get. Because at that point, I had thought I knew mental illness was one. I knew people that were missing limbs or blind were disabled, but I never thought it could count for me. Now, it's that to be said, anybody who has diabetes, who can control it, who can go on with their life, who follow the program and things work great, is diabetes really a disability? If you can't control your diabetes for whatever reason, well, maybe you should have this discussion with your doctor or your endocrinologist. My complications, along with my diabetes, shows that I'm disabled. Now, if you live in Canada, you can take a look at the CPP with disabilities. You can look at your provincial programs. In BC, we are provincial persons with disabilities, and federally, your CPPD. But just because you have diabetes, you may be disabled, and you may allow time allotted to do tests, but that doesn't mean you get all the money laid out for disability from the government. You kind of have to qualify. You have to apply. And an adjudicator will decide whether you meet the criteria. When I applied for my disability, diabetes was on the top of the list. And I applied for the provincial government of PWD, which I was told was going to be a breeze. Oh, you'll get it, no problem. And I was told the federal one was where I was going to have problems. Both paperworks are virtually the same. They just have different ways of asking the same question. So I did that. Yeah, I did that. And you know what? It was the opposite. I guess I met the criteria for CPP disability. But PWD in the province was a stickler. And I mean, I had to not reapply, but add supplemental information 2 to 3 times after my initial application. So, does diabetes affect my life? Yes, just the same as it affects every other diabetic. For me, I have to watch a lot better. And I mean that in when I have type 1 diabetes, I have to take time to do blood sugars. I can't work anymore because of my diabetes. I can't go to school anymore, again, because I could have a low blood sugar. Diabetes is affecting other parts of my life. I am pretty much situated in bed, and a lot of people ask, well, why are you in bed? That's not good for diabetes. And you know what? They're right. But my complications, I have a hell of a lot of pain, and this is the only comfortable way. But I still feel I'm productive in what I do and present information to you. I'm not making income out of it. It has 36 subscribers, which isn't a great, huge amount. But if there's some information that gets out there, I find it's a plus. Now, my complications plus my current situation has landed me in long-term care. I'm in a power chair. I'm waiting for a new one, but I can't get up and just go out and find a job. It's really kind of difficult for me. If I was at home, I'd be able to get up, sit up, go out, do stuff. But right now, this is my life. Am I upset with my life? No. I do what I can. I watch a lot of YouTube. I read. I keep my life full, but I also control to the best of my abilities my diabetes. That is number one in my life. I think when I figured it all out, it came out to like 26 hours a week. I have to concentrate on type 1 diabetes. Now, most doctors now believe the best way to control diabetes, or for you to learn how to control your diabetes, is out there in the real world. Hospitals could help you if you're sick, if you come down with something, but they're short term. Long term, I have ended up in a long term facility because a large portion is because of my diabetes. You too may be disabled, but are you disabled enough to be off work or stop going to school? You can take a look online about your government's disability. In Canada, like I said before, there's Canadian Pension Plan D, which is disability people, and that's where it said if you're trying to claim diabetes, you have to show 14 hours. And you usually have to have something else that you're working on with your body. I'm not saying that's 100%, but most people who get diabetes just don't get disability payments because they're just diabetic. But you can take a look at the paperwork, fill out the paperwork, and see if you qualify. In Canada, most of the provinces have different disability programs. In British Columbia, we have, again, CPP, which is open to all Canadians. We have PWD, Persons with Disability. If you get CPP and it doesn't meet the amount that BC will pay, CPP or PWD will go above CPP up to the amount they pay. So for myself, I get it for both. Ideally, I would not like to be on the programs. I wish my diabetes was better controlled and I wouldn't have to be on these programs, that I could be out working. But I can't, so I'm in this situation. Just because you have diabetes does not mean that you are disabled. Pure and simple. Take a look at PWD online with the BC provincial government if you're in BC, or CPP for federal. It helped me a lot from taking diabetes from being in my face to over here, where I know I have it and have to watch it, but I can watch it from my peripheral. CPP, not having to worry about things. Take a look at it if you think you qualify. And you know what? We're going to call it a day. Have a great day, and we'll talk again soon. Bye. My email address is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. All one line. Drop me